Alright, here I am, played a game as the Ottoman. And I did pretty well, I believe, for at least my second playthrough. I did have another playthrough as the Timurids into the Mughals, and, well, that happened right as Dharma released, like in 1650. So it was basically the mid game. Dharma released, it just completely fucked me with this whole Mughal nonsense. And yeah, well, so I decided not to upload that, and it changed a lot of things, especially like this wasteland. In that game, I had some rebels, like somebody from down here got conquered, and their army was in this province, and then they got annexed, and they turned into what those one fuckers, separatists. Yeah, the guys with the S, separatists. And they just kind of siege down this wasteland, and it was kind of cool. I wanted to. I should probably upload a picture of that if I can, and yeah, it was pretty sweet. I thought, and but I didn't want to do that. My goal with that was basically to cut off the west from the east, and essentially I did pretty well. But I think I fucked up with Australia, and in this I did pretty well with Australia. I got New Zealand and Australia, named it Australia. Apparently that's what the Turks call it, according to Google. Please don't rip my head off if I'm wrong. Uh, and you'll see in this game, about midway, Spain actually controlled this bit of land. It was Tierra Austral. They had this whole east coast, and yeah, couldn't let that happen. So when you see me take South Africa, that was also me consolidating power here in Australia, because that was all in one war. Thankfully, I had just enough admin efficiency to take all of that land. I did have New Zealand and up here and over there at that time. I took Guam and Palau over here, and I also took Siberia, East Siberia, just for the laws there at the end of the game. You kind of catch the end of it. Korea did have some. They started trying to conquer up here, expand, and well, I kind of fucked them up. Fucked that up for them. Words, how do they work? I did want to get at least like a bonus quest type deal, a side quest for myself, was to get the Alaska and California just for the gold routes, which I did get from Australia. That's pretty nice. I'll show you. Yeah, see, they do send gold. That's pretty nice. 160 each time. And as you see here, Dahomey, Najd, Bosnia, and Kilwa are all my vassals. For the most part, up until about 1800, they were all loyal to me, and they were all pretty badass. Especially Bosnia served me extremely well since the beginning almost. Within 50 years, I made him a powerhouse, and he returned the favor. As you can see, 126,000 soldiers. Beautiful, amazing. It was awesome. I really enjoyed having Bosnia. I gave him Naples. I really enjoyed having him as a vassal, as a march. Made them all marches, so that way, I mean, they probably would have revolted by now for independence, because they all together, they are about equal to me. I have about 2,000 to 3,000, I think, development, and they're about 400 to 500 each. Yes, he's almost 400. He's almost 500. He is 500, and he's over 400. And even so, Najd and Australia were my weakest, but they're both close to 400 each. And yeah, and I had a lot of fun with this playthrough. It was extremely fun. I really enjoyed myself. Although I wanted Kazan to finally take all of Russia, or Mughals, and you'll see in the game, like, Russia was basically finished off. He was only expanded out to here before Kazan decided for some fucking butt fucking reason to guarantee him. I don't understand why. I mean, we were all pretty much just gang raping him. Sweden, Ottomans, and Kazan, and Mughals over here. We were all just jumping his shit. I mean, Russia's huge. This is a lot of land, so we were all taking our pieces of it. And Kazan's like, well, you guys need to stop it. This has been enough. But whatever. Whatever. Slap my dick. I don't care. I have my army poised. I was going to go to war with him, and then I realized Ming was doing all that nonsense, and whatever. I was going to try to break that up, and I did actually one time go to war with Kazan in Russia near the end game, like 1750, somewhere around there, just so he would release that guarantee and, be like, oh, okay, maybe I should, you know, finish him off. But no, he's like, no, I want to guarantee him. So it's like, whatever. Whatever. You guarantee him for no fucking reason, and then he expanded out. And now Ming's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to guarantee him too, because I'm a fucking dick licker. But whatever. Hey, you guys do what you need to do, because I was focused on Africa. And Spain was a big butthole, but thankfully he colonized Brazil. And that's only 3 sea tiles away from Africa. And I had this land consolidated and conquered under my banner. By the time he had Morocco and everything under his, and I was sitting there thinking, like, man, because I did go to war with him over Tunisia, the Knights, because I was like, fuck, I was skip that way. And that didn't work out too well. I did that a couple times, couple wars, and I was losing because I also had the plutocratic coup, and that didn't help. Minus 10% morale across the board really hurt me. So, yeah. And now I realize Spain, his allies are fairly weak. He's got Bremen, probably a 1 or 2 province minor, Aachen, 1 or 2 province minor. Teutonic Order wasn't, he's just up here. He was kind of big at the time, but Brandenburg kind of whooped his ass a little bit. Mazavia, or whatever, Mazavia. I actually could have wiped him out a couple of times, but I didn't really want this state. I didn't feel like going to war with Austria anymore. He's the big dog around here. Everybody loves him, and it just kept giving me way too much aggressive expansion. Maybe it's kind of a pussy way to talk, but too much aggressive expansion up here. I wanted Africa. That was my point of this whole playthrough, was to conquer Africa. And I didn't feel like wasting too much time on Europe, although I did conquer all the Kievan Rus. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Although at times there were, when I expanded up here, I'm just like, I don't really want this land, and I'm fine with what I have, but then it's just like, what, fuck it, I might as well take the land. And I was like, you know what, those are really powerful provinces. That's what makes Russia really so powerful, I think, honestly. Besides when he takes all that land, but over here in Muscovy and Novgorod, Lithuania, Poland, and Moldavia, that, when I took Moldavia, that was when I knew this was going to be a good playthrough. When I took Moldavia, Poland didn't guarantee him. He didn't get the junior partner or whatever. I don't know what happened. I wasn't really too worried about up here, so I wasn't paying attention. It just kind of happened. I was just in the region. I was like, this is some good land. I should probably take it. And it's like, wait a minute. He has no allies. He has nothing. So I did take it. And 28, 10, and 11. Oh my God. Yes. And then Crimea took some land. He expanded out. That was my second clue that I could just move north as much as I wanted almost. And it did happen that way. And obviously I consolidated a lot of land up here. I did take a little bit of land here because I colonized this island because Spain was over here. And I was trying to do another thing of my prevent the West from expanding east. Kind of worked out. I mean, Spain and England's over here a little bit. He did get the Moluccas, New Guinea, and a lot of Hawaii and all that, Polynesia. Which he did get Taiwan, which is kind of regrettable. But, I mean, I got Australia and I got all of the Indian Ocean, I guess. I wish I could have got that all earlier on. But yeah, I conquered this little province here. I did have the quest for Gujarat, but meh. These guys are kind of powerful, and these guys weren't really, there was still a bunch of little states down here, so I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do that. And, Mamluks. Ha! I love it. By mid-game, Mamluks were colonizing out here, and that was about the time I took Egypt. And, yeah, like all this little stuff, and, this little stuff, and this stuff. This was all Mamluks at one point. Like, not all at once, because he was sitting there just desperately just colonizing just whatever he could. It was beautiful. I sat here and watched this just a minute ago. But, because one playthrough I had is the Ottomans. My original playthrough, of the Ottoman Conquest of Africa, I failed. I got to about 1780, and I had like max war exhaustion because I wasn't paying attention. I was focusing because I had conquered all of Egypt, conquered all of Mamluks. He had everything over there. He had all the way down to. He had all of this. He actually did really well for himself. He had all this down to the Cape of Africa, but also had Australia. He had like all of the Philippines. He had all of this. He had a lot of stuff down here for me to fucking take. And by the time I did siege it down and ended that war, I realized I have max war exhaustion, and every rebel that could fire did fire. Because I also had overextension by like 90%. So yeah, I pretty much just shot myself in the dick. And, it was also before this whole corruption bullshit that's why I also did these marches. Because the new mechanic in this game of the territories, too many territories. I'm up to .8. But yeah, I mean, it served me well. They were also really powerful. Gave me like double my numbers almost. But yeah, that's also why I did that. I really wish I could have got Hormuz over here or Oman or whatever this is. But oh well. But I'm also kind of glad I didn't because Najd is being a butthole and already wants, liberty. If I had given that, he probably would have been disloyal forever. But yeah, this was a really fun playthrough. Really fun playthrough for me. And also, I'm going to have to make an apology. In my last video about this game, I said the chinplosion. I apologize. That was just stupid on my part. During back then it was called the Mingplosion, and, they fixed that and whatnot. And I kind of slapped myself around and was just embarrassed that I was saying chinplosion. When I went to the war with the Knights, he also was being guaranteed by Great Britain and like Papal State and Venice, which was really powerful at the time. Austria's kicked the shit out of him by now. He's down to one province, not even Venice. One province over here in Parma. But yeah, that was basically in that war, trying to fight the Knights, Papal State, Venice, Great Britain, Spain, which also had Morocco at the time, and so basically North Africa, Spain, Great Britain, Northern Italy, and then I had to deal with all of the Americas, and that's why I was losing those wars. Even one time I had the Mughals join in, and maybe 12% war score by the time it was like 10 years in, and yeah, I was just like, yeah, this is going very slowly, and had to reload and just kind of rethink my strategy, and that's when I came up with the brilliant idea. Just go for Spain. I even truce broke a couple times with Spain to take Morocco, Tlemcen, and whatnot. It sucked. Yeah. This was a really fun playthrough for me. I hope you all enjoy watching the time lapse. I hope I was coherent enough to understand what the fuck I was just saying. And yeah, it was a really fun playthrough. I kind of want to do it again, and I kind of don't because it was really stressful and hard. I had to think a lot about it, but it was also really fun because I also had to think a lot about it, and it was just, I don't know. It felt good conquering all of this. Especially, I made Russia my bitch this entire game. At one point, me and Spain were allies, around 1500s actually. Russia, while he was under the name Muscovy, Austria and Muscovy had a junior partner relationship. For some reason, Austria was able to get Muscovy as a junior partner. And Spain decided to give him liberty, because, I mean, come on. Who the fuck is going to vassalize all of this? That's literally what happened. He had all of this land. You guys know how big Muscovy gets, so you'll see. Right before he turns into Russia is when it happened. Me and Spain went to war with Austria to release Muscovy or whatever. Or no. That was for the succession war. That was to actually put his throne on the seat. We won that. Or put his king on the throne. My bad. We won that. Me and Spain whooped the fucking hell out of Austria, but somehow he still got that junior partner. I don't understand it. It shouldn't have happened. But I'm actually kind of glad it did happen. Because when he released Russia, everybody had allies. They were all at their cap, I think. And Russia had nobody. the only person he could ever get as an ally for at least 100 years was Austria. And so that really made it easy for me to just basically declare war on him, take all his money, take his war reps, and basically humiliate him and get land from Austria and Hungary. It was beautiful because that's mostly how I got Transylvania and Hungary. I got like half of Hungary over here, and that's how I did it. If that didn't happen, if I didn't get Transylvania, this game probably wouldn't have happened the way it did. Britain kept trying to colonize. You'll see here he colonized here. As soon as he did colonize here, he went to war with Mali, and I couldn't have that. I needed Africa, and him taking more and more land in Africa was just kind of a bad deal for me. So I forget how it happened. He was allied or protecting someone that I went to war with, and yeah, I got a hold of his colonies, burned it to the fucking ground, and colonized it myself. He tried to do it here again. We went to war again. I don't know if I went to war with him directly or I can't remember. It's been like a month since I played that part. This is the span over like a month or two of me playing, so there are bits I forget. But he colonized over here. Couldn't have that. Destroyed it. Colonized myself, and yeah, he got kind of pissed, and that's when he went on a rampant colonizing spree over here in South America, which really worked out for him. Apparently, he got 3 different fuckers. Kazan, he is actually about to be completely annexed by Russia, and by mid-game, and that's when about the time I was deciding like I don't want to move into Europe. I don't want Russia, and I need to focus on Africa. So I started trying to get Kazan, but I did want his money. I did want Russia's money at least, and that was always the base deal for me. I took all his money, his war reps, and whatever war score I had left over, because I always like to go to 100%. I always like to lay down as much law as I can whenever I get the chance to. So, yeah, whatever war score I had left over, I fed Kazan land. And, yeah. Eventually, I started feeding myself land. I decided I did want, like, Moscow, I wanted Novgorod, I wanted St. Petersburg, because, those are really good provinces. So I did, I was up here, stretched up here, and I was like, this is looking like a stupid little spaghetti strand of a horn, It's a nice little wedge, but I need to get bigger. With that kind of border gore, I need to get bigger. So I did. And that's what I did. So I did. Yep. And, I could have done better. It's not a world conquest. I've only got maybe 300-400 hours put into this game. And that's mostly me failing. Most of these games, I've played as Great Britain one time, colonized North America and Canada. I didn't do too great. I did okay. I think I conquered a lot of northern France in that game, and it felt I was proud of myself to just get to the end, like I did with my French game. I think I did a little bit better with my French game than I did with my Great Britain game. My Great Britain game. And also, I started as Scotland in that game, so that's kind of why it didn't do so well, I'd say. Because, starting with Scotland, then consolidating Great Britain, then trying to be a great power. It took me a little while. It took me about 100 years to get to Great Britain status, so meh. It was still fun. I enjoyed myself. This was really fun for me. I don't know who I want to play as next. Let me know in the comments below if you have any suggestions on who I should try to play as. So remember, I don't even have 500 hours into this game. That's kind of why I'm playing as these big guys starting off. I did try to play as, like, my very first game I ever played this game. I played as the Shawnee. Well, let me tell you, I did badly. I mean, obviously. It was me basically just getting the grips of the game, and I still didn't. It was just terrible. I think I did win a little bit of land in my wars against the Europeans, but I think it was only one war that I did. I think it was against Great Britain, or maybe the Dutch. But as soon as I won that war, and it completely drained my economy, my manpower, everything I had. I threw everything I had into it, and I won maybe 1 or 2 provinces. And as soon as I did, I think it was the Dutch or maybe the Scottish, because they were still around. They had started colonizing. It was England had taken like most of Scotland. Basically, they just had the little islands over here themselves, so they were trying to colonize to expand. But yeah, as soon as I did that war, they declared war on me, and yeah, I gave up on that game. I did try to play as Sweden. I conquered basically all of Russia, and I don't know, I forget what happened with that game, but just something about I think my legitimacy just could never recover since you got to break free from Denmark. But I'm getting way off topic. Hope you all enjoy this time lapse. Hope this wasn't too long. I'm gonna try to cut it down. Yeah, enjoy. Have fun. Fuck you if you don't. Oh wait, hang on. I want to go to the end. Yep. Do have the most provinces. I had the second largest army, but that's also because I had gone to war with Korea and Ming, I think it was, right at the end. Lost, I think, 2 armies. It's been like 2 weeks since I played this. Since this recording kind of sloppy on my part, I apologize. But, yeah, I have 600 provinces, huh? Could have swore this would have told me my total development, but I don't see it. Yeah, I didn't do Iron Man. Like I said, I don't even have 500 hours into this game, so I'm not even gonna try it yet. But yeah, this was a fun playthrough. 4th largest navy. Who can compete with? For some reason, Spain was able to have like 500 to 600 ships. I could do like 200 to 300. I'm not even at that cap. But yep. Yeah, I can only do 300. Yep. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more bullshit. And here, oh yeah, and here's my ideas. Oh, I was debating to take trade or expansion ideas there at the end. I mean, I am making like 300 ducats a month, and it won't show it now, damn it. But I'm making 300 ducats a month here at the end. I wasn't really worried about economy, so I said, fuck it, I'll just do expansion because I was worried about consolidating, Africa. And I wanted, whatever else I could colonize, which is, up here in Siberia. I always like taking up here the Kamchadals and all that, and those fuckers, Kachuku or whatever they're fucking called. I always like fighting those guys because they're usually the last bastion of tribal society. And it's just kind of poetic, you know? Anyway, this was a fun playthrough. I'll try to put some notes, some highlights in the time lapse itself. And yeah, I wish it would tell me my. I think I saw somewhere that I had like 2,000. Actually, I wonder if I can. Yeah, like 535. Or no, that's 5,354% total war score. So whatever that breaks down to. I wish I could find it. I was looking earlier. Yeah, see, 350. Okay, so yeah, relative power of all marches to Ottomans is 80%. There are about 2,000 altogether. 389, that's about 400. So between these two, it's about 800. He's 420, 389. I mean, it's what, 810? And 463, that's 1273. 1779. And then, like, yeah, that's over 2,000 right there. That's like 2,200. So I'm probably about 2,500 development altogether. Yay. Anyway, I think that was all the points I needed to make. Moogle's kind of pissed me off. But, yeah. Enjoy that time lapse.